Now, what we're going to get to see here with Amanda is a characteristic of someone who does a little better with driving with both feet, and that's going to be characterized by these two deep shin angles that match. Okay, in the other portrait, we notice that the hyperextension of the knee, and you'll see in that video, because she's on a force plate, that at one moment the energy that she's creating is being reciprocated back into itself, and you'll see like this weird triangle that forms if you look closely. Now, when we have this happening, what you're going to see as far as the hips naturally opening and them closing, and if you go back and look at that Amanda, the spiral line video that I did previously comparing her to Dak, what we want to happen to create good pelvic rotation within our pitch is when we have a better back leg push, you're going to see that left hip get out early in front of the right hip. And so that's that natural opening that's going to happen actually before extension in the other example when James talked about extension. So it can happen differently depending on what that back leg does. Now, the other video that we saw, that type of landing is going to create more opportunities for injury and those types of things because she's going to land in hyperextension if we watch that finish. But like I mentioned in the video talking about the spiral line and the lead leg, Amanda's left hip is in front, it's out early, so it's going to give the right hip an opportunity as soon as we get to, so there's extension. Now she's got so much better pelvic rotation with that left hip and that angle than our skeleton. And so when she lands and she has hamstring engagement because the knee is in flexion, she's literally, like I mentioned with the spiral line, going to extend this left hip, which is going to rotate it backwards and snap this right hip forward. That's important because as the ball opens the torso, the lower half is coming forward as the upper half is creating disassociation, which is going to allow for a deep coil. And the same thing when we're hitting and creating separation, you'll see the slack happen in Amanda's shirt that's going to allow her to speed up that whip, be loose from the shoulder, and be able to really rip it. And so those are two different examples of what we're talking about when kinetic sequencing comes into play as far as how the hip is going to open and what's closing it. And if we watch that video again of the lead leg that I posted with Dak, I explain a little deeper how important that front leg is for someone who is doing a much better job of front side absorption and doing a much better job with that back leg and that stride leg actually creating force into the ground.